And I have practical reasons for why I don't do the physical fast. Um, but I give you like readings and journaling and behavioral modification kind of challenges because I understand that ultimately that for many of you your biggest issue is not food. Your biggest issue is that you got some attitude stuff you need to change. So I started to really ask the Lord how to approach this Lenten season. And of course, with this being Palm Sunday, again, we're not the traditional church. I'm not doing the Palm Sunday sermon about he came in and all that kind of stuff. I've done those sermons for years. So the last few weeks, the Lord has been burdening me about this whole idea of peace, about the peace of God, right? So, Sister Sharonda, I've been preaching about the peace of God. Well, today, the Lord, Belinda, this week, he shifted me. And not away from that, but from kind of drilling down into areas that we don't normally preach about. I'm a therapeutic preacher. I'm a psychoanalytical preacher. So I look not just at the theological doctrinal stuff. I do that. But faith that doesn't fix you doesn't work well. So I'm not a life coach. So Sarah, I'm not trying to be a life coach. I'm not trying to be the marketplace minister. Other people do that much better than me. My assignment as your pastor, particularly at this stage of my life, is to help you be a better person. Because once you become a better person, some things you ain't got to try to figure out how to do. God will make it make sense to you. So I really wrestle with this thing about the peace of God, the peace of God. And then the Lord began to deal with me that one of the deterrents to you having peace is that you've never disciplined your thoughts. That's why some of you do some of you aren't gossipers by nature, you're gossiper by need. You tell people other folk business because you need to feel like you important. So some of you are not negative people. You've just never taught to be positive. So you are schizophrenically grateful. Some of you are not toxic. You've just never been cleansed. So all you've been doing is stacking pain. So some of y'all got 30 years of pain in you. That's why you can remember stuff from yesterday and it feels like today. Because it ain't a scar, it's an open wound. So I came to help us and help me. Okay? Come on, let's pray. God, we desperately need to hear your voice. Not the voice of the preacher, but the voice of God. Help us now. In Jesus' name, amen. Okay, so remain standing. Everybody turn to Philippians chapter 4. That's kind of where I didn't plan to park for 3 weeks, but that's where I am. So Philippians 4. Of course, we always want to encourage you to share our broadcast with other people or share our streaming service. So, go online and Facebook if you got it, share and encourage people to watch. Okay, verse 8. Everyone read verse 8, regardless of version. Everyone read verse 8. What does it say? Those things that are good. Keep reading. Okay, good. Turn to your neighbor. Say, neighbor, I got really great advice. Be careful who you listen to. You may be seated. Be careful who you listen to. So in 2009, and it's good to see you, LaShawn. In 2009, a study was done by a group of scholars entitled The Power of the Inner Voice, examining self-talk's relationship with academic outcomes. This was published in the American Journal of Education. Now, the thing that was really interesting was that the research analyzed 1,092 self-talk responses from 177 undergrads. They categorized it between constructive self-talk and dysfunctional self-talk. The findings indicated what most of us would probably conclude, that constructive self-talk, which was positively associated, brought about higher satisfaction, increased efficacy, and improved academic performance. Conversely, Sierra, dysfunctional self-talk correlated with lower satisfaction, Anthony, lower self-efficacy, and a significant relationship with lower academic performance. Interestingly enough, the conclusion was those who never learn to engage in positive self-talk will always struggle to succeed no matter how gifted they are. They will lack self-regulation skills. Don't miss that. They will lack self-regulation skills. They will lack the ability to discipline themselves because they do not have the conscientious recognition that what I say to myself is actually more important than what other people say to me. So I came to tell you, be careful who you listen to. Because some of you aren't struggling because you're listening to other folk. You struggling because you're having a conversation with the wrong person. Yourself. Some of you are not healthy enough to have self-conversation. Some of you have been too damaged. You've got childhood traumas that you've never resolved. Some of you have had bad relational moments. And those moments have left you struggling. And as much as you love God, and as much as you try to do the God thing, because you have never, and AD said it profoundly and truthfully, because you've never healed, because you've never been in a God moment of sanctification of your soul and your mind, Brandy, Gerard, James, Malcolm, Val, Aaliyah, because you've never had that season where you truly have experienced the healing power of God. What has happened is, because your brain never turns off, you are having self-talk sleeping. And you wake up, Alicia and Gerald, feeling frustrated, and the day ain't even started. Am I helping anybody yet? And Tiffany, the subtlety of mismanaging self-talk is you will struggle with peace. Co-pastor, here's what I've discovered. The foundation, then, the positive self-talk is an inner life that strives to be healthy. This healthy begins with your understanding that peace is not possible if, Anthony, your inner life is not healthy. Remember what peace is, Deja. It's the evidence of tranquility and the balanced calmness of mind. It's managing life with composure and not a denial of its reality. It's dealing with the fact that you serve a God that is in control of your life when you're not in control of anything. Have you ever had a season where you felt like you had no control of anything, but you also understood that while I may not have control, I serve a God that's got the last word? Howard Thurman once wrote, "The quietness deep within is not merely the absence of noise, it's the presence of something that is the source of peace and strength." This source of peace and strength is God. However one wants to deal with it, our faith declares it's God. It's learning to trust God until negative emotions like doubt and fear are under control. It's not always about conquering doubt and fear. But it does say that while I may be wrestling with fear, it does not dictate my response to challenging conditions. Just because you've got a little fear, Cottons, doesn't mean that you will not win, because fear is not controlling until you empower it. You find then that when your outer life seems chaotic, when your inner life is reeking with the assurance of divine presence, you will begin to understand that no matter, Kennedy's, what I'm dealing with, I serve a God that is going to sustain me in the instability. The world we live in right now is filled with the plethora of issues. We don't know if we can retire now because of the stock market. We don't know how this world is going to transform it, how this world is going to continue. Perry's, we're not sure, because the guy sitting in the White House has an ego that is so narcissistically, demonically out of control until he's trying to play big dog with countries that ain't scared of him. He needs to understand China ain't scared of us. They got more people, and we don't know what military weapons they got. And their economy has been, over the years, stronger. He's sitting around trying to prove who he is because he don't care who we are. That fool is trying to close the African American Museum like our history just doesn't matter. But that's okay. You can try to control my story, but you can't control my self-esteem, because the reality is after everything you did, I'm still standing. For you not to pursue peace in this season means you have lost your mind. You want money, but money don't bring peace. It brings the illusion of being Novocaine by the failure to deal with the stuff that you've tried to ignore by buying a lifestyle that distances you from poverty, but it doesn't distance you from pain. If you do not have an inner life that is healthy, none of this matters. That's why in Psalm 46, David writes very well, "The Lord is my refuge and my strength. The Lord is my protector and my God. The Lord is the one that keeps me. The Lord is present while I'm dealing with trouble. The Lord is present while I'm dealing with pain." Can I encourage you and tell you that God loves you so much till God is actually where you need God to be, no matter what you're dealing with? Can you slap your neighbor high five and tell him, "That's what I've been feeling"? What I've been feeling is not the presence of people, it's the presence of God. That's why I haven't gone over the edge, because God keeps me going. That's why every time I feel discouraged, something tells me get up and keep pressing. That's why when I go through death and despair, that something keeps me going. That's why what kept you, AD, wasn't your genius and your brilliance. It was your mama's prayers and your own faith. And I came to declare for everybody in this room that knows the God that I know, that God is able to keep you in perfect peace, but you got to make a decision to keep your mind. And that happens, Brittany, in your inner life. Don't live in the lie that money makes you happy. Do not live in the illusion that friends and pleasure protects you. Because eventually you're going to be alone with you. Because eventually everybody got to go home. I quickly threw together some slides and Ray helped me clean it up. So I want to give you two definitions really quickly. The first one is on the inner life. If you all can find the slide on the inner life, well, I want to give you the definition of the inner life. And then I want to give you the definition of inner conversation. So the inner life and inner conversation, while they're pulling them up, here it is. Okay, here's the inner life. Again, I always encourage you to take pictures of the slides. So if you all can see it, I want you to read it. What is the inner life? Everybody read it. What does it say? Now, I want everybody to get this. Everyone has an inner life. Okay? It's where inner conversations are. Everyone has an inner life. You cannot exist without an inner life. It is a proven fact that every mass murder, every serial killer begins the act in their mind. It is the voices they hear. And while we try to mentally frame it, those voices, for many of them, Leroy, is as real as my voice today, Tiffany. And what's happening, Darrell, is that most of us don't know that we teeter on destruction when we don't know what to do with the inner thoughts that give us permission. Can I be very transparent and tell you, I cannot say I have not contemplated hurting someone. I cannot say that I haven't contemplated wanting to kill someone. I cannot say that I have not contemplated wanting to respond in a negative way to someone. We have all been there. You can sit there and be judgmental if you want, but most of us have contemplated suicide in one way or another. But it is that deeper meaning to life that makes us not behave in ways that are destructive. And what some of you need to be grateful for is that mama and that daddy and that grandmama and that granddaddy that taught you to believe in God, because by the mere fact you got any faith consciousness means you've got a disciplined enough framework to not be what your flesh gives you permission to be. Inner life is where you learn to commune with God or you learn to commune with yourself. Inner life is where your imagination either thrives or it is squashed. It is these distant places that I am in moments of intimacy with myself. And it's these moments of intimacy with myself that I discover whether I really believe God or not. See, some of you are going to therapy, but you're leaving the therapy session with the same inner thoughts. And I'm not trying to discourage therapy or counseling. It is important. But some of you will never be made whole till you make some decisions to start working on the you. Okay, y'all don't want to talk to me. That's why some of you parade your bodies and your thoughts on social media. What is your need to get attention from strangers? What is your dysfunction that you need strangers to like your stuff Like it matters what they think about you. If you ain't in my house, you shouldn't be in my thoughts. Before you try to check anybody else, stop and check yourself. Maybe your marriage went wrong because of you. And I do not want you to think that I do not understand the power of rearing and raising. I do believe that the way I was reared and raised is one of the reasons why I have not done certain things. That I do believe what I believe. But I understand that those who rear and raise me do not spend the most time with me. The person I spend the most time with is the person I'm with right now. And if that person don't get it together, when I spend time with you, I'm going to eventually end up damaging you, because damaged people damage people. Am I preaching like I've been somewhere with God? I need you to shake your neighbor's hand and tell your neighbor, you got to get it together. You got to get you together. Stop trying to fix me. Some of you are trying to raise children, but you say to them the stuff you doing. Don't do that. Don't do that. And then you do it. So their example is a bad you. Deliverance is not just getting over addictions, it's getting over the root cause of your need to be addicted. In a conversation. Put the definition up, please. Let's read. What does it say? Stop. It's the what? Stop. It's the what? Stop. It's the what? Guess what you're doing right now? You're engaged in a conversation. As you're listening to me, you're making decisions about whether this content makes sense to you. While you're listening to me, Sap, you're actually deciding if you will stay engaged or if you're done. While you're listening to me, Anthony, you are filtering your thought, my words, through your thought process. While you're listening to me, you are already deciding if any of this will be applied. And some of you made a decision early on that you ain't the problem. Sap, y'all ain't helping me. Some of y'all made a decision, Tim, that I ain't the issue, Jaquan. You decided that it is Pastor having one of his moments. I'm going to let him have it so I can get the hell up out this church so I can go back to what I've been doing. But I came to declare that until you acknowledge that your thoughts are your problems, not your money, not your relationships, not your mama, your thoughts. The way you process stuff is your problem. The way you interpret things. So you can speak in tongues, you can fall out in the spirit, and still get up and be miserable. Okay. Tell your neighbor, I got to work on me. It's amazing how you know how to fix everybody else, but you is your problem. No, I need about 8 of y'all to point at yourself and say, I is my problem. It ain't you, it's the way I interpret what you do. You didn't even mean nothing when you said what you said, but because I interpret everything from the low level, I cannot see the good in what you said. So I get offended by everything someone says to me because the way I interpret content. Some of you will never be married to anybody who can really help you, because either you got to always be right, or whenever they check you, you explain what you meant. Here's what I came to tell you, that there's a level where correction may be what saves you, not your gift, not your intellect. It's if somebody can tell you the truth and you can receive it in love. It's an ongoing stream. I just made you conscious of something you've been unconscious about. You're welcome, baby. You want to know what's deep, Seth? It's because we've never been a disciplinarian of thoughts. Our mind, Agena, runs roughshod. And here's how really confused you are. You ready? Come here, Henderson. Here's how really confused you are. Stand in front of me. So I'm having these inner thoughts about him. Man, I want to cuss him out. I want to punch him. I want to hurt him. I'm so sick of him. I'm tired of him. Da, 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 da. That's what I'm thinking. But here's what I do. Hey, man, I love you. You're the best thing ever happened to me. You want to know how confused you are? You lying to yourself. I know some of y'all don't like me, but you tell me how good of a pastor I am, but really you say, this nigga always gone. And I try to get him, and every time he say something, I know he talking about me because he called my name, and he looked right at me. And then you come to me and say, Hug, Pastor, I think you the blessed. Here's when you really sick, when you can't even do what you really want to do because you scared to be who you are, so you and your thoughts don't even agree. You being nice to people you don't even like. Because you're a coward in action, but you're courageous in thought. I've been there. I've been there. James, some of y'all don't really want to submit to me. You just do it because you're supposed to do it because you in church. And I'm the bishop. But if you could really tell me, James, what you really think some days. Oh, don't sit here and act like I ain't talking to you and Gerard. Malcolm, you don't really want to pick me up at 3 o'clock in the morning. I get it. Look at him looking at me. Now what you thinking? Now what you thinking? Don't play with an anointed pastor, because just because I don't say it don't mean I don't see it. Anthony, you listening or you thinking? You want to know what's really deep? I didn't want to preach this because it's emotionally invasive. It's too intrusive for some of you. You just want to be told it's your season. But I want to tell you the truth. It might be your season, but not the way you think. It might be your season to change. It might be your season to grow. It might be your season for honesty. You all right, Agena? If some of y'all could walk out right now, you would walk right slap out of here. I understand. Sure, Howard Thurman, Henry Nouwen once said the spiritual life is not a life before or after or beyond our everyday experience. No, spiritual life is real. And sometimes it is lived in the midst of pain and joys of the here and now. My challenge with this message is that I am as much, Brandy, a prisoner to my thoughts as you are. I'm trying not to sound hypocritical because I deal with my own thoughts, and some of them are not always healthy. The enemy tries to get me in prison by pain and people, but yet the word tells me to forgive them. But Catherine, forgiveness is hard because sometimes I'm forgiving reoccurring behavior. Sometimes God is putting me in the most awkward of places. He's got me forgiving. He's got me forgiving what I just forgave that someone told me they would never do again. And then when they do it again, I'm forced to forgive. The force to forgive means I have to tolerate you, which now you makes me look passive and weak. Because the people outside of me are critiquing my tolerance of your behavior. But they don't understand that my inner life is seeking purity. Purity is forgiveness. If I can't forgive you, I can't breathe. So I find myself trying to breathe in the darkness of my own brokenness because I love God, but God keeps making me love you. I don't understand why God keeps making me love you when I want to walk away from you, this and that. But because God won't let me sleep till I do right by you, I find myself loving what hates me. And you hate me not by words, but by actions. So Gerard, I keep showing up to take care of that person who's not taking care of me. I keep protecting the person who keeps exposing me. Bracy, I keep walking with people who run away from me and only come back in need. You only call me when you want something, not when you need something. Because if you needed me, I could manage you. And some of you are dealing with this self-talk in your parents, in your grandparents, in your siblings, in your spouses, in your friends, in your coworkers, in your spiritual leaders. You're dealing with this self-talk. And the reason why I'm trying, Sister Annette, to bring you into a conscious awareness of self-talk is because self-talk is really guided, Josh, by sometimes the unresolved issues that find their way constantly into every possible season of revelation. Every time I'm exposed to something about myself, the enemy uses the pain to come back to the place of my revelation of myself. So while I am emerging in consciousness, the enemy is trying to remind me that I am still paralyzed and broken, because if you were really worth something, they wouldn't have done what they did to you. And so here you are wrestling with the pain and wrestling with the difficulty. Doesn't it seem awkward that Jesus forgives people while they're stabbing him on the cross? Because until you can forgive in real time, you will be broken in the future. Preach, John Guns. I need some of you to wake up and discover that your pain is not to break you, it's to liberate you. Because if I can forgive you for this, I can live as if I'll never be hurt by you again. Because you are a scar, you are not a wound. Self-talk is how you get liberated, but it's also how you stay in bondage. And self-talk is actually thoughts that are communicated with you. It's how I think that determines what I say to myself. So Lisa, Rosemary, Tanisha, I struggle with what I think. I don't like sometimes the way I think. And sometimes I don't like the way I think about people I actually love. People I actually want to be in relationship with. People who I actually want to be close to. I don't like sometimes the interpretations I end up with. And because I love God, I sometimes don't even like the way I think about God. Why would you let somebody who works so hard outwardly to be good with you? Why would you let that be what I got to deal with? And see, the tough part, Jeremiah and Jen, is that when you don't enter in a place of sanctified thoughts, you end up in the constant, ongoing stream of negative inner conversations. And then eventually you become your conversation. Nudge your neighbor, ask him, you still here? I know some of you like, dang, if I had streamed, I could have left by now. Watch this. So let's go back to Philippians 4:8. In conclusion, fill your minds with things that are good and deserve praise. Hey, somebody do me a favor. Run outside, put some dirt in a cup, and bring me a glass. You bring me a glass of water, and you bring me a cup with some dirt. Watch this. Here's a part of why this is such a deep verse. Gerard left me. He back there. You don't want to talk to me today? He said, I got to get away from him today. Watch this. Fill your minds. Give me a second cup, an empty cup. It doesn't matter. Anyone. Watch this. And a bottle of water. Watch this. Y'all can tell that something's coming in real time, right? Here's the frustrations here of what's happening in certain seasons of my life. All right. Okay. Good. You put that right there. See here, come here. James, come here. Here's what's happening in real time in my life. Said, you stand on this side. You put that down for now. You stand on this side. Literally what's going on in my mind, and Paul talked about in Romans 7, when he said, when I would do good, evil is always present. Face me. Both of you face me. Get closer. Now, y'all start like play swinging at each other. Go. So what's happening is my mind is fighting. There's the good and the beautiful, and there's the big and the ugly. No, don't miss it. I ain't calling the woman ugly, so y'all just deal with that. So watch this. I'm fighting. And sometimes I just want to say, stop. I need a vacation from me. I'm preaching to the right crowd. Is there anybody that says sometime I just need a vacation from me? Because I can't seem to shut it down because I'm struggling with the good and the bad. I want to love you, but I want to hurt you. I want to walk away, but I want to stay. So here's my mind. Keep going. My mind is always racing. My mind's always fighting. And the only way to get real deliverance from the fight, y'all ready? You got to drop down. You missed it. You missed it. You missed it. Look at, come on, keep going, keep fighting. You got to be able to go, God, I got to get out of the fight. So I come to Jesus just as I am, wounded, weary, and lost. I need some peace today. I need some rest today. In the name of the Lord Jesus. Some of you don't pray because you need Jesus. Some of you pray because you need to get away from you. Thank y'all. Let me get y'all out of here. My frustration is I can't get away from the ongoing stream, and it exhausts me. And my body responds to the never-ending stress of thoughts. You don't have a heart problem. You got a mind problem. You ain't having a stroke. You just ain't been free. Oh, I need about 8 people. Throw your hand up and holler, Lord, help me today. So notice what he says. Put up the slides. I got to move so quickly. God, I got to move so quickly. Every time I get up on Sunday, I say I'm going to get them through, but God. Okay, put up the first slide. He said, and we're going to move quickly on the slide about the, there you go. Okay. These are the traits. Take the pictures really quickly. I don't have time to go into it, so I need you to go home and read them. Y'all got it? Okay. Y'all got it? Okay. Next slide. If you didn't get it, your neighbor did. Use their phone. Okay, we're going to put it on the website. Cotton, we're going to put it on the website. Okay, we're going to put it on the website. All right, y'all got it? Okay, it's like snapping a picture. It's like right now, what I'm saying to myself is, why is it taking so long for people to snap a picture? Okay, next slide. Next slide. Next slide. Okay, next slide. Okay. All right. Good. Y'all got it? Okay, good. Now, all of these traits, Deacon Estevez, Deacon Watson, good to see you, man. Love you, praying for you, Ellison. All these traits are God traits. So the only way for self-talk not to become demoralizing and defeating is, Kim, Jermaine, I have to seek to be conformed to the nature of God, which means I have to go through 2 things. You ready? First thing, I have to go through an intense sanctification. This is what the Lord is saying to me right now, Angelica. Literally, LaJona, what the Lord is saying to me right now, it says, Doris, it says, Francis, I have to go through, Deaconess Gwen, an intense time of sanctification, which means I may have to be distant for survival. Because I may not need anybody but so close when God's got to be the only one I can really listen to right now. So I may seem really, really strange to you that I need God more than I need you. I still need you because I'm happily married. But God won't let me stay me. And he keeps revealing me to me. And the stuff I'm discovering ain't stuff I want to keep being. So Elder Johnny says, Sabrina, God is dealing with me in a way that's so intense till it makes me feel awkward for a season around you. I ain't stuck up. I just ain't clean yet. And I don't want to transfer toxics to you. I don't want you to get my mood swing. I don't want you to think my moodiness is that I'm mad. I'm just being cleansed, and it's tough. So here's what I'm discovering. Give me, yes, bring that. So bring it up here. Is there an extra cup? Give me bring it. You can bring the extra cup. Y'all come up here. So here's what God does. I come to God. Let me. come to God. Give me some oil. It's right, yeah. I'm coming to God, and I'm confused because I'm dirty but oily. I'm I'm oily, but I'm dirty. So I'm great on Sunday, but I confuse you on Saturdays. Because Sunday I look clean, but Saturday you get all of my stuff. Because I want permission. Some of y'all don't go out of town to see your friends. You go out of town to be the you can't be in Jacksonville. Because you sit too up front for us to see that. And you like your seat, but you hate the scrutiny. But here's what I discovered. When you get close to the fire, you can't act like you're cold. This is how it's done. So now I got to go through. You might want to get another cup. Grab another cup real quick. So now, there you go. So now, now God starts pouring me out. Okay, good. But the problem is, I still got dirt at the bottom. So now, take this, Gerard. Now, God's gotta pour. But what I gotta do is not add no dirt. He's still, that's good, gonna make me oily. But I gotta stop. I can't add no, pour it out now. Now, go ahead. That's good. Go ahead. Now, the Lord, I'm starting to get better. But I'm still a little dirty. Where the water? But this time, to get the dirt dealt with, he gotta shake me. You want to know what some of your trouble is? Is God loosening the dirt that got settled in your soul. So God said, I'm going to send them through some tears. Because if I can get them the week, he may endure for a night. But joy comes in the morning. Then next time when they go through sanctification, it ain't as much dirt. Lord. But this time, he don't even use no water. He just... Now you feel like your life is raw and pain is there. And God says, I'm just trying to set you free. Just trying to get you free, trying to get you out of this pain and out of this disappointment. So now look at it. Watch this. The dirt ain't there, but the outside looks dirty. So God says, now I can clean you up. So now when I pour it again and I start pouring, notice what I start doing. You don't do what you used to. You don't desire what you used to desire. Now when I shake you up this time, I'm now cleaning the cup. So now people are start to see something different. So this time, you ready? When I pour the oil, this time when I pour the oil, it ain't got no dirt word in it. This time when I pour the oil, I ain't mad at nobody no more. I've been through the pain. I've been through the disappointment, and I'm still standing. Look at your neighbor and say, I got a verse for you. When you've been tried in the fire, you shall come forth as pure gold. You got to go through the shaking. That's where you are. You're in the pouring out, pouring in process. That's why this relationship is different. That's why you can't do the stuff you did in the previous relationships. That's why you got a different moral approach to this one. I can't do that until there's some integrity. And now you're gonna find out that the people who claim to love you are only trying to manipulate you for fulfillment purposes. Because you can't wait on my character. My character's too much for you. You can't wait on me to be the person I need God to want me to be. You want me to be what you need me to be, but you like my God side because that gives you perks of accessibility. You use me to get close to God, but you don't need me to be a person of character because you want my body, you don't want my spirit. But what you don't understand is when I give you my body, you mess with my spirit. So I got to cover my body so my spirit ain't contaminated because I've been there before. So let me close. How do you discipline your thoughts? Simple. Come here, Gerard. First thing you got to do is you got to come to God like you. God don't need nothing fake. You got to come to God like you. And then you got to let God undress you. Because until I can get to the real you, I got to get to the inner you. And then you got to move towards me. And then, come here, Brandy. You got to let me get the oil. Cleanse your mind. Which means, put it on your hand, just rub it on his head. You got to let the Lord saturate your mind. You got to, you got to let him rub his glory in your mind. You got to keep rubbing. Get some more oil. You got to let him deal with you. You got to let him deal with you. You gotta let him. You gotta let him. You gotta let him. You gotta say, and then you gotta get to the submissive place. You gotta get to the submissive place. You gotta get to the submissive place. You gotta get over your male ego. You gotta get over, you gotta get over your tough girl routine. And listen, God ain't scared of you. So just because you talk loud and cuss folk out, that don't move God. All it does is make God say, I'm just gonna keep. So Jeremiah, you gotta get back to your face with God. You gotta need God so much until you start saying to God, Cotton, you start crying out to God. And the more that you stay open open to God, the more God rubs his glory into your life. Now take it. Now take that and just start rubbing his arms. Now God moves from your mind. He starts blessing your hands. 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 Now all of a sudden the oil moves from your head to your body. And now God starts blessing your hands. He starts blessing your hands. Get that oil, just kind of and go to his heart. Now God starts dealing with your heart. He got your head. He got your hands. Now he's got your heart. Now God starts rubbing in your heart. Now your heart starts to sense the glory of the Lord. And then God said, okay, I got your head. I got your hands. I got your heart. Now I need to get your feet so you'll start walking right. So now God starts anointing your feet so that you'll start walking as you should walk. And the enemy gets nervous because he sees the oil on you. And every time he attacks you, he slides off. Every time he tries you, he slides off. Because now he can't do to you what he used to do to you. I feel the glory. I need you to tell your neighbor, I got to get early in this season. I can't risk. I can't risk. I can't risk losing God's glory because of you. So God, sanctify me till the next time you pour your oil. It ain't competing with dirt. It ain't fighting with dirt. It ain't fighting with dirt. Daughter, it ain't fighting with dirt. They ain't gonna understand. But God had to break your heart so he could heal your life. Woo. I need you to tell your neighbor, say, neighbor, I've been through some disappointment. And neighbor, I've been through some pain. And I've been through some things I can't talk about. I can't even tell you how deeply it hurt me. But here's what I can tell you, that when I've been tried in the fire, I'm going to be okay. Because it required the brokenness to get me to the oil. The oil comes, Deja, out of the brokenness. Rest. 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 All of it. From the day you were born to this moment right now, God says rest. It's scary to be oily and dirty. And dirt ain't always morality. Sometimes dirt is pain. I just won't let go. And Kay, the hard part is when I can't move past it. Eventually, Tiffany, it just keeps showing up. So God will put you in a new season and the devil will bring old dirt. Because the enemy knows that once I get you into the place of pain, value have no exit. I will keep reminding you of what your mama and daddy didn't do for you. And you can't live your life like you're trying to fix what happened to you. Years ago, the Lord said something to me. He said, she can't be the fixer of your pain. You got to be painless before you enjoy this. Can't no person come in your life and didn't fix you. They can't fill the gap that you allowed to be created or was created. So today, everybody stand. Just rest. Let God do it again. But this time, let God do it all. Brandy, come lay with your husband. Because God's going to heal both of you at the same time. Everybody lift your hands. Come here, co-pastor. Somebody get this picture. Regina, get this for me. Everybody lift your hands. Let me tell you why I'm telling you to lift your hands. Because you got to give God a yes before God can give you a finally. It's like, Monet, there is no tomorrow until there's a finally. You can't be damaged tomorrow and be happy Tuesday.